Hey everyone, we're here today to talk to you a little bit about threats to sea turtles. Did you know that all 7 species of sea turtles are considered threatened or endangered? And they really don't have a lot of natural predators. As hatchlings they do, there's quite a bit of predators that will go after hatchlings. Adult turtles, occasionally sharks, but really the only reason that they are threatened and endangered is because of humans. There's a lot of things that we're doing that are causing those populations to decline. One of the major threats to sea turtles is commercial fishing. Commercial fishing is one of the large efforts for fishing. So 2 of the main forms are long lines, which are miles and miles of line set with thousands of hooks, or trawl nets, which are drug along the bottom of the ocean or through the water column to catch fish and things like shrimp and scallops. Oftentimes turtles can get caught in those. Sea turtles are reptiles. They do have to reach the surface to breathe air. So if they're caught on a hook or they're caught in a net and can't reach the surface for air, they will drown. There are some things that we can do to cut down on these impacts. You want to use sustainable seafood choices. So there's actually an app called Seafood Watch that will tell you what some of those sustainable choices are. They're looking for things like safe seafood, so things that are caught with modified gear, so we can modify the type of hooks that are used on long lines. We can also use what's called a turtle excluder device in our trawl nets. Using things like hook and line are also good ways to catch fish. So you want to make sure you're just making sustainable seafood choices. Another major threats to sea turtles are boat interactions. So they are prone to boat strikes because, as I mentioned, they do have to reach the surface for air. That's where our boats are. And about 40% of the sea turtles that end up in rehab facilities around the state of Florida have boat strikes. So when you're on the water, you want to make sure that you're obeying the speed zones and wear polarized sunglasses. It actually helps you see animals that are in the water. So I recommend wearing polarized sunglasses, make sure you're obeying your speed zones, and keep an eye out for everything that's out in front of you when you're out boating. Light pollution is another major issue. Sea turtles use light cues to orient, both nesting females and hatchlings. They're looking for the brightest surface, which is usually the moon and stars reflecting off the water. That's what those hatchlings are using to orient towards the ocean when they emerge at night. But if we have lights on our houses, condos, things like that, they're going to end up going the wrong way, which is called disorientation. And we often find them in swimming pools, parking lots, roadways, and places that they're not supposed to be. So that's another major threat. So make sure that if you live along the coast, you are turning off your lights at night. If you're on the beach at night, make sure you keep all of your cell phones and flashlights off. Even if you live inland, you try to eliminate your use of light because that sky glow can also cause disorientation for sea turtles. Obviously, another major issue that we've heard a lot about lately is marine pollution, plastic, things like that. Sea turtles eat a variety of food, and a lot of it can be mistaken for food. A lot of plastic can be mistaken for food. So you want to make sure that you're cutting down on your single-use plastics because things like plastic bags, water bottles, any single plastic item can be mistaken for food by a sea turtle, and they're going to ingest them. So make sure you cut down on your plastics, you're recycling what you do use, but try to use reusable items as often as you can. Another major issue that we see recently is ghost fishing gear. That's basically fishing gear that has been discarded into the ocean and left. So fishing nets, fishing line, things like that are discarded and thrown into the ocean. Those are major threats to sea turtles. So make sure that if you are out fishing, you properly dispose of all of your fishing gear. Make sure everything gets recycled and that you're not leaving anything out there for them to get entangled in. So yes, all species of sea turtles are threatened and endangered, but there are many things that we can do to help preserve those populations.